Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Fauzil. I am from BA1192C, and today I want to discuss about the introduction of opportunity costs faced by employee and employer in the tourism and transportation industry of Malaysia during movement control order due to COVID-19 outbreak. So let me explain the basic economic concept. Economic is described as the science of choice centered on the principle that society has unlimited funds but depends on scarce resources. Therefore, decisions are made to maximize satisfaction. For example, during movement control order (MCO) due to COVID-19 outbreak, many employee and employer didn't work because they need to stay home for safety, but they need to go to work just because they need to stay alive to buy some food or other things they needed. Therefore, there are four key economic concepts, which is scarcity, supply and demand, cost and benefit, and incentive, that can help explain many decisions that humans make. First of all, scarcity. Everyone has understand that scarcity, whether they are aware of it or not, because everyone has experienced the effect of scarcity. Scarcity explain the basics economics problem that the world has limited or scarce resources to meet seemingly unlimited ones. This reality forces people to make decisions about how allocate resources in the most efficient way possible, so that as many needs as possible are met. Secondly, supply and demand. A market system is driven by supply and demand. Taking the example of Coke, if many people want to buy Coke, the demand for Coke is considered high. As people want to buy Coke, as a result, you can charge more for Coke and make money on average by using wet to make beer than using wet to make flour. Hypothetically, this could lead to a situation where more people start to make Coke, and after a few production cycles, there is so much Coke on the market and supply of Coke will increase that the price of Coke will drops. Thirdly, the concept of cost and benefits is related to the rational expectation and rational choice of consumer. In every situation, people try to maximize their benefits while maximizing their costs. The concept of costs and benefits is applicable to other decisions that are not relatable to financial transaction. As example, university student performs cost-benefit analysis on a daily basis by choosing to focus on certain courses that they have deemed more important for their success. Sometimes this even mean cutting the time they spend studying for courses that they see as less necessary. Fourthly, everything is in the incentive. If you if we are a parent, a boss, or a teacher, or anyone else with the responsibility of oversight, you've probably been in a situation of offering a reward or incentive in order to increase likelihood of a particular outcomes. When incentives are correctly aligned and with organizational goals and benefits can be exceptional. These practices include profit sharing, performance bonuses, and employee stock ownership. However, this incentive can go awry if the criteria for determining if an incentive has been met falls out of alignment with the original goal. Thank you.
Hi, now I want to talk about COVID-19. What is COVID-19? The COVID-19 is pandemic in Malaysia is part of the ongoing worldwide pandemic of coronavirus disease 2019. That's what they call COVID-19, caused by several acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, that which is before they known as SARS-CoV-2. The virus was confirmed to have reached Malaysia in January 2020 when it was detected on travelers from China arriving to Singapore on 25 January, following the outbreak of COVID-19 in Hubei, China. Reported cases remained relatively low and were largely confined to import cases until localist cluster began to emerge in March. The first case has been reported is the cluster. This cluster began to emerge in March. The largest cluster was linked to the Tabligh Jamaat. The Tabligh Jamaat is the religious gathering in Seri Petaling, Kuala Lumpur in late February and early March, leading to the massive spike in local cases and an importation of cases in neighboring countries. Within a few weeks, Malaysia has recorded the largest cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 infection in Southern Asia, reaching the 2,000 active cases marked by the end of March. From fewer than 30 cases of the beginning of the month, by 16 March, the virus was reported in every state and federal territory in the country.
The World Health Organization (WHO) declared the outbreak as pandemic on 11 March 2020. The coronavirus has spread around the world and was confirmed to have reached Malaysia in January 2020. The Ministry of Malaysia, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, has declared the MCO or Movement Control Order starting on 18 March 2020. When MCO happened, all the employee and employer, also the tourism industry, get a lot of worst effect, such as some of employer and employee doesn't have their job because some of the company got broke down, and also the tourism industry because the government shut down every entry that regarding to this country. When the government shut down all the entry regarding this country, the tourism industry cannot have their profit because they didn't have any tourism who come to Malaysia because of this pandemic. This pandemic started with the Movement Control Order when the Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin started to lock down every big cities such as Kuala Lumpur, and also a lot of places that can be used for tourism. This is because the pandemic virus can be affected easily from the air, and also if we make a contact with a people, we can get the virus easily. As the result for the lockdown, this country has freely and safely for all nation. Thanks to government for lockdown and do the movement control order for us Malaysia get to live safely until today.
Hi, hello guys. This is the last part in writer report or video representation. So we talk about the conclusion. When the MCO took place in the COVID-19 pandemic, it had a profound effect on those working in various sectors, especially those in the tourism and transportation sector. This is because the government of Malaysia has taken a precautionary measure to prevent the spread of the virus for too long, and the government wants to curb and break the COVID-19 outbreak chain. The government shutting down all government and private premises except for those involved in essential service, and some sectors with government permission and travel bans, and all foreigners entering Malaysia and all Malaysians leaving the country. During the MCO period, Malaysians are not permitted to leave and non-citizens are not allowed to enter the country. Malaysia Overseas Maritime provided that they undergo medical examination upon their arrival and subject themselves to a 14-day quarantine. For non-citizens wanting to enter Malaysia of those with diplomatic status, permanent resident and expatriate with working visas involved in essential service will be permitted to do so and on a case-by-case basis, and will also be subject to 40-day quarantine upon entry. No land travel is permitted except for those transported with essential goods and food. Port will continue operation except for those transporting essential goods, managed cruise ship. Domestic and international travel will continue during the period to the travel bans in place. The operation of local and international cargo companies which involve scheduled and non-scheduled cargo movement are also permitted. It is a huge loss to the tourism and transportation sector when non-citizens can no longer within the country. The transport sector has to face losses in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak, offering low-cost transport ticket to stabilize the economy in the transport sector, especially in offering low-cost transport ticket to especially in airline, express bus company and rail company, while the tourism sector has to face huge economic losses following the COVID-19 outbreak, as foreigners cannot travel to the country and provide cheap accommodation for their citizens only to travel. The expectation is that when the company in both sectors is in a very bad state, the expectation is that there will be a layoff of workers in each of these sectors, because companies in that sector will not be able to pay their salaries at the cost of their losses, and this also result in high unemployment of Malaysians. Okay, thank you.